Hi, welcome. I am Jocelyn Martin. I am currently a certified personal trainer and holistic health coach. I'm also a full-time mom who has decided to go back to school to pursue a nursing degree that eventually will lead to a nurse practitioner degree. So I can thoroughly talk on this topic, having spent the last year both working and also as a full-time student. I currently have a 3.98 as my GPA, taking mainly science classes. Going back to school after over 20 years, I had to retake all of my science and math courses. So as you can imagine, it is not an easy feat to be a mom of three and working and going back to school, taking chemistry and anatomy and physiology, statistics, all with labs, all while also continuing on with life. So I'm here to share with you my tips that I learned this past year when it came to using my essential oils for studying sleep habits, keeping my immune system up, and getting good grades. And let me tell you, there is just so much to study when you go back to school, especially when you're doing that with this time crunch of also working and being mom. And although the brain's capacity to store information is limitless, it often doesn't feel that way when it comes time for a test or a big presentation. There's a difference between your working memory and your long-term memory. Working memory are those things that you want to remember for a test or a presentation. It needs to be kept active in order to be remembered. Think of repeating a number over and over again. Oftentimes when you get somebody's telephone number or an address, you find yourself repeating that number over and over again. That's working memory. Long-term memory involves structural changes within the brain. It's when more than one connection or synapse are encoded or changed. Think of that how you feel when thinking about where you went on your last vacation. It's using an emotion or a place or a thing to trigger a memory. That's triggering the neurons within your brain in order to help you to recall that memory. It's like when you smell chocolate chip cookies and your mouth immediately starts to water, or you smell the fresh cut grass for the first time in the spring and you know that summer is just around the corner. It's those feelings and emotions that come over you that help you to recall or remember an event. It's kind of the classic case of two heads, or in this case, two neurons are stronger than one. And we can use science to actually help us to take this information that we're learning for a class or a presentation and move it from working memory, where we just really remember it for the short term and then it's easily forgotten, to long-term memory where we can recall it whenever we might need it. And this is actually where essential oils and science come in. So it's tying a smell or an essential oil to study material. So how exactly did I do this? Well, I took one essential oil for every class that I was taking. So for instance, last semester I had 4 different classes. So I had 4 different essential oils. And when studying, I would use the specific essential oil that I had tied to that class. I would either diffuse it, I would put it on my wrist or my head or the base of my neck when I would study material for that class. I could use a diffuser like the one that I have going here, or a USB diffuser that I could easily put into my computer. The essential oils go right inside and are diffused out of it. This was really helpful when studying at the library or a coffee shop or even at my kids' gymnastics. And the key was that I used the same essential oil for just one class. So I never mixed up these essential oils. They went with just one class. It was really helpful that they were kind of 4 different colors because it made it really easy for me to remember which one went with which class. Then when it came time to study for a test, the essential oil would actually help to trigger additional neurons to fire, allowing me to be able to better recall the information. The act of breathing deeply also helped to calm my nerves and made more oxygen available so my brain and body could fire and work more efficiently. Now, believe it or not, this was not something that I came up with on my own. This was something that I learned from studies with yoga, studies with patients who had cancer, and studies on focus. And at the end of this entire class, in the comment section below, or the information section for this video, you'll actually see a list of all of the clinical trials that I used when doing some research on what could help me be more of an efficient studier and student, because I knew I was going to be so time crunched. So which oils did I choose, and why did I choose those specific essential oils? Well, this is really where I went to the data. Several studies have demonstrated how smelling peppermint essential oil, which I have here and was really strong, although this, I have to say, put on a mask for anatomy lab when we had to do dissections, really helpful because it covered up all those smells of embalming fluid. Yuck. So several studies have demonstrated how smelling peppermint essential oil enhances alertness, focus, concentration, and accuracy of memory. A few English studies showed that inhaling lavender helped students complete math problems faster, and rosemary helped increase memory and alertness, as well as improve cognitive function. Several Japanese studies showed that diffusing lemon, orange, jasmine, vetiver, and cedarwood improved brain patterns, memory accuracy, and reduced errors. So I looked for essential oils and blends that contained these essential oils. The ones that I chose last semester were Clarity, Energy, Genius, which is one of our kids' scents essential oil blends that's already pre-diluted. I also chose, what do I have here? RC and M Grain, as well as Aroma Ease. These were all ones I was happy that I had several that I could choose from. So I took 3 classes first semester and 4 the second. So I have 7 different essential oil blends here. So I had one for each of the different classes. So I didn't have to kind of confuse my brain when it came to recalling information using a scent. Now, eventually your brain will rewire itself. So you can go back and use a different essential oil, or like I did 2 semesters of anatomy and physiology, and I just stuck with the same essential oil for both. So if you're studying a pattern like you want to use energy for math, just stick with energy for all of your math classes. If you have sciences, you might want to stick with frankincense for all of your sciences. And you can do a general based like that as well. I also used a blend that I created, which was a combination of 10 drops of peppermint, 5 drops of rosemary, 2 drops of lavender, 5 drops of lemon essential oil, 2 drops of cedarwood, and I used a hemp seed oil in this as the carrier oil. But this was really great because it made it easy for me to apply. I really played with different essential oils each semester, sticking primarily with blends that included peppermint essential oil. I stayed away from too much lavender as it tended to make me feel way too relaxed and sleepy, and reminded me of the essential oils that I use to help me sleep at night versus those that really help me to stay alert and focused. I'm not a fan of the smell of rosemary on its own, and was concerned with the photosensitivity of oils like any of the citrus oils like lemon or orange when I was walking to and from classes. So I tended to limit those as well. Although I did love the personal blend that I created for myself for my Chemistry 2 class. I knew that I was going to need all the help that I could get to absorb the information in that class. Chemistry was not something that came overly easy to me, and it seemed to have worked. I ended up with an A- in Chemistry 1 and an A in Chemistry 2. So not too bad. Now, of course, just because you're using essential oils to assist in recruiting more neurons to recall material, you still need to practice good habits. Essential oils are not a panacea. They're not going to make up for bad studying habits or bad focus habits. So you still needed to take time to prepare. I used a bullet journal where I could write all the things that I needed to do for everything that day. I had 3 columns, one for what I called school, one for work, and then one for life. That tended to be family, house, fun stuff. And I would update that every single day. Now you could use a planner for things like that, but I really liked the bullet journal process. It allowed me to be able to easily carry information forward, as well as to kind of transform my own planner into things that I needed. If you want, go ahead and go onto Instagram or YouTube and just Google bullet journal, and you will learn lots of different techniques and ways to use a journal that kind of allows you to make it what you need in order to survive. For me, I really needed a journal or a planner that was going to accommodate all 3 areas of my life and not just one. You also need quiet, dedicated, focused time. With 3 kids and a business that I run, I constantly had noise going on in the background. Noise canceling headphones came in handy, as did trying to get a lot of my study done in small chunks. I used time blocking and would tell my family, like, right now I'm taking the next 30 minutes, the next 40 minutes in order to study this, and then we can do XYZ. And then I would take time after that to kind of take a break. So that also allowed my brain to be able to absorb information in those smaller chunks because it knew it was going to get a break in a little bit. And it really is during those breaks that your brain takes what it is that you are learning and kind of, I call it like card cataloging it. It puts it into manageable ways. It also allows you during those breaks to be able to talk about it. And whenever you take something that you've learned and teach it to somebody else, you are applying the information in a new way, which also recruits additional neurons and helps you to recall the information better. The last one is exercise and healthy habits. Yep, that means limiting the sugar because it zaps your energy, and exercising because it helps your body to use oxygen better. When you are not breathing appropriately or managing the oxygen within your body, you die. Oxygen is critical for every single thing that your body does. Every single cell in your body requires oxygen in order to create energy, in order to move, in order to function. So if you are not exercising, you are dying. All of those things help to manage my stress, but they also help to keep my immune system going strong. There's nothing more stressful than taking exams and public speaking, but I have actually 2 secret weapons that helped me with both. And I used these during every single test, every single exam, every single presentation that I had to take. Stress Away Roll-On and Valor. I will be honest, I have absolutely no idea how either of these work. I just know that they do. It could be that it's kind of like a ritual that a professional athlete goes through, which calms the nerves and reminds them that they are ready for the big game. Or it could be the essential oils themselves. Who knows? All I know is that it works, and my classmates loved the way that I smelled. I can't tell you how many positive comments I got, and heck, I'm helping them stay calm too just by wearing these around them. By the way, when I was stumped or stuck on a question, you know that panic attack feeling that swells and your blood starts to flow and you feel your heart pumping faster and your skin is flushing? Well, I simply would sit back and take a deep breath because I had these 2 oils applied on me, and they helped to remind me, it's okay, breathe, you are prepared for this. Of course, I still had to do the work to make sure that I was prepared. Something that can take me off my A game, like what I did there with that funny A game, A student. Anyways, illness can take me off my A game. I'm more tired, it's harder to focus, I have to rest and sleep more, and it's just harder to recall and remember all the information. But I had several essential oils and really essential oil products and supplements that I used on the regular. And with others in my class, when I felt that my immune system was starting to get run down, you know, when you feel that tired, sluggish, your nose is running, you just feel like you want to say to life, hey, time out. I really need like a long nap or else I'm really going to get sick here. I loved, and so did my classmates because they smell so good, my Thieves hand purifier. I use this every day when I got back to my car after class, and it was the first thing as soon as I sat into my car. I had it right there where I kept my water bottles and stuff, you know, those little cup holders. My Thieves hand purifier, my Thieves spray. I would spray the table that I was sitting at home, door handles, my cell phone, computer, anything that I had used at class would get sprayed down for my clients who come to my studio to train. Every time that they left, I would spray all of my equipment down that they had used with my Thieves spray. Those were just handy. My kids knew as soon as they walked in the door. I have a big one of these with the pump, and they would use their Thieves hand purifier in class. A lot of us, you know, were studying to be nurses. So there's a little bit of like making sure that we stay well. So we would all go around and use our hand purifier. No alcohol in this, so I didn't have to worry about any dry hands or anything else. And the peppermint smell on that, everybody smelled peppy. So it was really nice. At night, I would use my Thieves roll-on. I would apply this directly to my feet. At night, if I felt that I was starting to get extra rundown, I would also use Immunopower or Thieves essential oil in a diffuser. I could use it either in a diffuser at school or a diffuser at home. A lot of times during the fall and winter months, it was just constantly in a diffuser. Just breathing that in, I felt like I was taking better care of my body so that way I wouldn't fall ill. When I felt extra rundown or I had a huge to-do list, stress can really make your immune system plummet. I would take Inner Defense. This is an essential oil supplement and it's in pill form, and I would take this to boost my immune system, as well as Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red was a daily 2 ounces, and I would fill up my water bottle. Most people would see me with this like red concoction that I would sip throughout class. That was my Ningxia Red. It tasted wonderful, but it also helped with that antioxidant boost to keep my cells firing well, kept me focused, and kept me hydrated. Because if you are not well hydrated, your immune system plummets as well. But the most important thing that I did to keep my immune system humming and to help to maintain my focus and enhance my memory was I got 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. I mean, seriously, I can't stress enough the power of sleep. Rather than take my word for it, here's a glimpse at all of the data that's out there on sleep, memory, focus, and studying. So these are just a few quotes from the studies themselves. The first study says, results suggest that regardless of how much a student generally studies each day, if that student sacrifices sleep time to study more than usual, he or she will have more trouble understanding material taught in class and be more likely to struggle on an assignment or tests the following day. Quote number 2, a sleepless night may affect your ability to filter out information, a new study finds. In the study, the researchers confirm that sleep deprivation can impair what's known as selective attention, or the ability to focus on specific information when other things are occurring at the same time. Think life going on while you're also trying to study for exams. Third quote, memory is enhanced when sleep follows within a few hours of learning, independent of time of day, and with equal amounts of interference during retention intervals. Sleep deprivation has a detrimental effect on memory. I can honestly say that this is 100% true. The material that I used to study right before going to bed seemed to be processed by my brain while I was sleeping. I can remember vividly dreaming about anatomy and physiology and systems within the body, putting blood flow into place, putting how hormones went from one organ to another, how the menstrual cycle worked. Regardless of what it is, my brain, whatever I was studying at night, would process all of that while I was sleeping. And I remember dreaming about it. And I would wake up the next morning feeling so much more confident about the material that I had studied the night before. The last quote, sleep deprivation has detrimental effects on immune cell number, function, and cytokine production, meaning that it really affects your immune system in a negative way. And that's just a smidge of the data regarding how important sleep is to the body to perform at a top level. So how do I personally get a good night's sleep? Number one, I make it a priority. Seriously, as important as making sure that you see the doctor and dentist regularly, that my kids are all ready to go to school in the morning, that I'm prepared for my exams. It is a top priority. I shut down all electronics 30 minutes to an hour prior to going to bed. I plan on getting 8 hours of sleep a night. That means I plan. That means I work backwards from when I need to get up in the morning to make sure that I'm getting that 8 hours of sleep. And then I use my oils to calm my mind and to lull myself to sleep. We've all been there where our brain seems to go into like this never-ending to-do list of things that we have to do when our head hits the pillow. It's like suddenly there's enough quiet in the house that your brain says, oh, don't forget. Oh, don't forget. Oh, you've got to call Aunt Susie. Oh, you have to make that doctor's appointment. Oh, you completely forgot to take out the trash and recycling. Oh. And your brain just fires, and sleep seems so elusive at those moments. So some of the things that I use in order to quiet my brain at night is my Tranquil Roll-On. This is my favorite. I love the way it smells. I rub it on my chest. I rub it on my feet. I rub it on the back of my neck. It smells so good. Release is another one, to release all of those thoughts. I can get to them tomorrow. Clary sage and lavender, these two together, really good. Clary sage is great for women's hormones. Lavender, I mean, just Google lavender and the number of clinical studies that come up with calm and sleep, and it's out there. And then peace and calming does exactly like it says. It's peace and calming so you can get some peace and calm rest. When I needed a boost, I could also use Sleep Essential Oil Supplement, Sleep Essence Essential Oil Supplement. There's no lingering drowsiness to that. It's a combination of essential oils with melatonin in order to help you to get to sleep. And I would wake up the next morning refreshed without feeling like that drowsiness was lingering into my day. And that's pretty much the gist of the essential oils and supplements that I use to manage life, a business, and studying all of last year. They're also what I will use going into the fall. I have one last class to take, and then starting my nursing program in January. I start my nursing program as a accelerated bachelor's of science in nursing. So it's a 16-month program. So if you don't think that we're go for 16 months, you are kidding yourself. So I'll be using all of these same techniques and more of the science that I learn as I go in order to continue to manage life and being a student. I can't tell you how instrumental that these essential oils have been in supporting my schedule, mindset, sleep, immune system, focus, and grades. It's like having lots of different tools in my toolkit to support me and give me that little bit of a competitive edge. Now, if you have questions, which I'm sure some of you do, go ahead and post them below, comment below, and I will make sure that I answer them quickly and appropriately. As a reminder, I am a paid distributor for Young Living essential oils. They are the only essential oils that I use based on purity and sourcing. Knowing that what I'm putting in my body, on my body, and into the air is so important to me. With so much new information coming out every day about the toxic chemicals that fill the products we use daily and how those can negatively impact our health, Young Living essential oils and essential oil infused products give me the peace of mind that I'm choosing good things for my body, my health, my family, and my home. So how do you get your hands on them? Well, you can order right through the link that's in the information below. It's www.myyl.com/Jocelyn Martin #enroll. And you can find that link right below. Just click on that. From there, you can choose a premium starter kit, which comes with many of the oils and products that we discussed, plus a diffuser. It makes a great gift for middle school, high school, or the college graduate in your life. You get a little bit of everything to put what we talked about into practice. Feel free to share this video with them as well so they know how to use it. This allows you to save 24% on anything you order ever and saves you 50% on all the products in the starter kit versus if you price them out individually. You can also, through that link though, pick and choose items of what you want to try that you may have heard about on this video or more. Either way, you can feel free to drop me a message or an email, Jocelyn@BeYourBestPersonalTraining.com, and let me know what you ordered and why, as well as say hi. And I'll send you a thank you gift of $25 in goodies that you can use for yourself or as a gift for the graduate that you may have bought the starter kit for. And I'll tailor those freebies based on why you bought what you bought. That's the personal touch that we all look for from a small business. And that's it. Comment below and I will answer your questions. Don't forget, I'm also posting a link to a lot of the essential oil related clinical data that I used when putting together this talk and any references that I also used. And that's it. As always, I'm always here to help you on your wellness journey, to help you live your best healthy life for you and your family. God bless.